And welcome back to the Smart Tank Revolution, where we always kick out at 2. I am your host, the benevolent, intelligent, excellent, and eloquent Mr. Donnie Wonderful. And I am here with yet another random thought in regards to wrestling, aka sports entertainment. Now, this is about a week old, about 8 days old, but I want to direct your attention to the Raw after WrestleMania, the dreaded Raw after WrestleMania. That show was terrible. But some of the shining lights, the shining moments, if you will. I believe one of them, a hidden gem, was the in-ring promo between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. Obviously, that's going to move the needle. That match right there is amazing. Great pair. Phenomenal pairing. The history speaks for itself between those two. But I want to focus on the actual promo, if you will. Bianca Belair comes out. She thanks Asuka, says that Asuka brought out the best in her, and they had a great match. Bianca Belair versus Asuka was phenomenal, and I think they were the lesser of the two women's title matches. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. I was watching that match, saying, "God, this is really great," and I'm giving that the nod. They both, in my opinion, and if you're familiar with our bipolar rating scale, a 3 count is the highest it should go. But since I would give a 3 count to Bianca and Asuka, I would have to go above that and give the King Kong Bundy 5 count to Charlotte and Rhea. Both were really good matches, and I think both of them I would watch over again. But I would watch Rhea and Charlotte first over Asuka and Bianca. But, nevertheless, 2 impressive WrestleMania showings on 2 different nights. Those 2 get in the ring. Bianca comes out and says, "You claim to be the EST, yet you're the luckiest that I chose Charlotte." And I was thinking, you know what? Like, that was the main event. The WrestleMania, that is a main event. Rhea and Bianca is a main event. I don't care what pay-per-view it is. But that's what I was expecting, seeing that Rhea was in Judgment Day and they were on Raw. But I know for a fact that Rhea and Charlotte are a great pair. And plus, they had that WrestleMania 35 match, and now they're 1-1, and you can always sell the rubber match. So with Rhea Ripley winning the Royal Rumble in the fashion she did was excellent booking. Shout out to Hunter. I know that was your call and your move. Great job. But they come face to face, toe to toe, and the champions. I think that there's way too many champions. There needs to really only be one. So I thought that this was a great look. I hope that Bianca's title reign, even though she's been champion for about a year with this run, that if you interrupt it, she gets it back quick. So we have multiple years of watching her reign, especially going into a WrestleMania. I think that needs to happen. I think Rhea Ripley should hold on to this belt until next year's WrestleMania, and then they do what Roman and Brock did and become undisputed. Unify the belts and you become undisputed. I think it's only fair and fitting that the women get the same respects that the men got, and that needs to happen. There's so much that you can do in regards to setting history with that women's title. Charlotte's already, she's basically at the finish line when it comes to reaching her dad, and I don't think she should eclipse. I think 16-time world champion for Charlotte is a great rounded number to keep it in the family. And for that reason, I think that you book Charlotte to have great matches, but you keep the title off her. You can keep her busy with the women's tag belt, or maybe, and I believe this idea was shot down, but maybe there should be, a transitional title in the women's division, in a TBS championship or a women's intercontinental championship, something like that, and to keep a workhorse belt to keep them busy, to keep the well, then again, there'll be too many titles, but or maybe a Queen of the Ring booked right, something to keep them busy in the interim. But never mind. No more titles. Just keep it the way. Just book it smart, guys. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, those two in the ring. That should definitely be a WrestleMania main event for title for title, world champ versus world champ, or are they calling it? No, yeah, Raw champ versus SmackDown champ to unify and become undisputed champ. WrestleMania 40 in Philly. I like it. But one thing that Bianca said, and this was the standout. I'm not going to make this one too long. I know my tangents can go on for forever and a day, but I'm not going to make this one too long because I want to highlight this. I thought that this was a very effective promo for Bianca Belair, especially when she said, and I'm gonna paraphrase, but it's gonna sound really close to what she said. Bianca Belair feels she's the best and she wants to wrestle the best. Okay, so when you say things like that doesn't center around a storyline to me. That says I trained to be where I'm at, and I want to test myself against the rest of the landscape. I'm the champion, but I want to wrestle the best. That's in every other contact sport, that's the selling point. If Conor McGregor were to hop on the mic and say, I'm coming back in the cage next week or whenever I'll be back in the cage, and I don't have anybody I want to call out specifically, but I want to fight the best in my division. Ooh. So then we as the pundits would say, all right, let's look down the roster. Let's see who's in the weight class. Let's see who can challenge for him or whatever. The fact that she said that to Rhea Ripley acknowledges the fact that Rhea actually is, right now, on the Mount Rushmore of women wrestling, of active wrestlers. In their prime, the best. Right here, you have 1 and 1A. Bianca and Rhea. And I thought that was perfect because this is what we see in other sports. This is what we see in boxing. All right. Boxers, obviously, the sport's different. They're not going to cost you a match. They're not going to cost you any money. I want to fight you because you're a champion and I'm a champion. I want to unify these belts. And because I think I'm the best, I hear you say you're the best. I want to test myself to see who actually really is the best. Or I want to test myself against the best. That's a shoot statement, if you ask me. That resembles something that Bret Hart would say. And I have to bring it back to the excellence of execution. You know me. You guys know me. I'm Donnie Wonderful. I'm a Bret Hart mark. Before Bret got into the Canada stuff, where you actually gave him something to vent about and you gave him something to steer toward. You gave him a direction. Not to say that he was misguided or didn't have a direction, but the majority of Bret Hart's promos had to do with the wrestling. That's why it was real to me. That's why it was just real. Because bottom line, it didn't have the charisma. It didn't have the wittiness in his words. Sometimes he actually did used to pull out some interesting quotes, but he didn't have the wittiness that a Shawn Michaels had. But in the end, it came down to what's going to happen in that squared circle, and that's what I like. Bianca Belair wants to face the best. Whenever you say that, yeah, because that says what I mentioned earlier. I trained hard for this. I invested time into this. Any average Joe, no pun or no offense to my esteemed colleague, Mr. Joey Business, but any average Joe just can't climb in these ropes and do what I do. I'm the best in the world. Does that sound familiar? Doesn't that sound like how a certain CM Punk cast that reel and he hooked us? I'm the best in the world, and here's why. Now, there was a lot of passion in those promos, especially that pipe bomb promo, but we all got it. And we all could agree with it because, for the most part, unless you lived under a rock, you knew who CM Punk was before he got here. His background and his humble beginnings were well documented. And that's something that the WWE, they do really well. Their promotional packages and how they introduce guys, like when they're on top of it, they're the best in the world. The best. And that's where I'm going to anchor this thing. Because I feel at least another half an hour in me because, you guys know me. I'm the tyrant of tangents. We can do this. But yeah, I really enjoyed that part of the promo. Bianca Belair acknowledging that she wants to wrestle. She wants to wrestle the best, and I think that gives the future feud between her and Rhea Ripley all the legs it needs, and it's not gonna crawl. It's going to sprint, and it's going to be great. I just pray that it's a marathon. Thank you guys for listening. Catch you on the next one.